Lightning is awesome. It contains a huge force of energy that gives power to Adam to become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. It also gives power to Thor, son of Odin, who is the father of Thor. The Greek god of thunder Zeus was known to handle lightning very well. But what about us? What about the humans? Are we able to harness energy from this lightning? We have extracted energy from the wind through windmills and from the sun through solar panels. So what are we doing about extracting energy from a lightning? This is exactly what we are going to discuss today. Can we harness energy from lightning? But before we begin, just a small request: if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Really, it's a big help for small channels like this. Although actually why a lightning occurs is a little contentious, it generally happens between the updrafts or the downdrafts of air. Due to air currents, the lighter elements go up and become positively charged, and the heavier elements go down and become negatively charged. When the differential buildup of these charges becomes too high, lightning is released between these two regions. Generally, all the lightning happens inside a cloud, but some bolts do find their way down to earth, killing thousands of people every year and also killing lot of animals, especially the tall ones. Interesting. Possibly a topic for another video. Lightning is not only bright but also very hot. The temperature of a lightning is generally 27,000 degrees centigrade. To put things into perspective, that temperature is nearly 5 times hotter than the surface temperature of the sun. Every lightning bolt carries with it a humongous amount of energy. Although every lightning bolt is different, we could consider that each lightning bolt has at least 1 billion joules of energy. If we convert that into power, it comes to around 300 kilowatt hours of power. The average power consumption in the world is around 300 kilowatt hours. That means a single bolt of lightning can power up to 10 homes for one day. So it should be simple, right? We should have a lightning arrestor, catch the lightning, convert the energy and store it and use it for our household purposes, right? But it gets a bit more complicated than that. Although a lightning bolt is a carrier of an enormous amount of energy, extracting energy from a thunderbolt is not so easy. But why? The very first reason is that lightning is sporadic, and if you see the geographical distribution of the intensity of lightning and the frequency, it varies a lot across the world. Although we assume that each lightning bolt has at least more than 1 billion joules of energy, not all lightning bolts are created the same. Some bolts may have a hazardously high amount of energy, whereas others may have a ludicrously low amount of energy. Moreover, while traveling down to earth, a lightning bolt loses most of its energy and only a fraction of it is received on earth. And finally, due to its sporadic nature, we really don't know when lightning is going to strike. We really do not have any way of identifying that. All this makes the process of harnessing energy from lightning very difficult. Lightning is very geographically distributed, with most of the lightning happening in tropical and mountainous areas. Also, thunderstorms in the ocean cause lightning. Considering 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water, it's very difficult to plan and put in lightning harvesting farms in those challenging environments. Now, even if there is a city identified as a frequent lightning zone, for safety perspective, economic and social point of view, not many people would like to build their houses beside power plants. An out-of-track thunderbolt may cause lot of destruction and damage to nearby properties. Even if we somehow manage to work our way around these problems, then actually comes the technical difficulties while trying to harness the energy from a lightning bolt. The primary reason for that is lightning deposits a huge amount of energy in a very short span of time, known as a spike. Most of our electrical components like batteries, capacitors, transistors, ICs aren't designed to withstand such surge in power. For this reason, we will have to completely revamp our electrical machinery and infrastructure and replace it with complex machineries and state-of-the-art electrical systems which are able to handle and accept such high surge in power. We would also need super fast charging batteries to store energy from a lightning, which we currently don't have. As a result, all of these challenges associated with developing lightning harvesting systems have restricted us from harnessing a meaningful amount of energy from lightning. Failure to handle lightning properly can cause unimaginable damage. Since the early 1980s, scientists have tried a lot of ways to harness energy from lightning, but unfortunately, all of them have resulted in failures. In 2007, a company known as Alternative Energy went far ahead than the others, but even they had to stop all their operations because of the losses that they were incurring because they never could able to get it work. Although their CEO said that given enough money and time, they could have probably scaled things up a bit to make it happen. It's not black magic, it's truly maths and science, and he was hopeful that sometimes in future it could happen. Recently, a promising project known as Project First Light has been launched. The project uses revolutionary network and claims that rare materials from asteroids are being used in the construction of this lightning energy harvesting project, along with the use of fast charging batteries. Only time will tell the success of this project. It has also been proposed that the energy contained in lightning be used to generate hydrogen from water, to harness the energy from rapid heating of water due to lightning, or to use a group of lightning arresters to harness a strike either directly or by converting it to heat or mechanical energy, or to use inductors spaced far enough away so that a safe fraction of the energy might be captured. Terra Mobile, an international project initiated jointly by the French-German collaboration, has managed to trigger electric activity in thunderclouds by ultra-short lasers. For the moment, this application is used to divert the lightning and prevent damages instead of harvesting the lightning energy. To summarize, we still have a long way to go before we can actually harness energy from lightning. But with the advancement of technology, nothing should be impossible in the future upcoming years. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment in both YouTube and Facebook. The channel needs your support to grow. Thank you.